All right. Good evening, everyone. We should be live now. And welcome to set of the $500 1v14 collision tournament. Today we're going to be casting a set between Nur and Sam, which I think is Call Me Sam as well, if I'm not mistaken. So while I just set some stuff up in the background, let me give you guys a bit of tournament background. So this is essentially a round robin where you have two group stages, or two different groups, I guess, in a group stage, are playing against each other. And it's a round robin format, so it's fixed 11 games. And basically, whoever has the most overall wins wins the set. So before I said it was based on set wins overall, but it's individual wins within the set are what are calculated for points. So one win in a game is 1 point. If you win 11-0, that's 11 points. If you win 7-4, that's 7 points, and so on. Hello, Justani. Just setting up last couple touches, and then we should be good to go. All right. So now everything is ready on my end, so we can actually get the games going. Oh yeah, Nur is on my team as well, if you guys are curious. So I'm playing with Nur, Humanity, and Tease. That's my team. Sam is playing under Hero as a captain, so that would be Tensor GG, Hassan Leb, Sam, and Apex. The other two teams in my group B are Team Staz, which consists of Lift Truck, Staz, Abuka, and Antrip. And there's Team Mr. X, who's just a captain, not a player, for his team. And his team consists of Scuba, SBL, Drunkle, and Gandra. There's also a Group A as well, but we don't play with anyone from Group A unless we progress as the top two teams in our group stage, in which case we will be meeting them in a finals, I believe. And the finals is fixed 13 instead of fixed 11. So, in case you're curious as to the teams on the other group, there's Team Pepsi, Team Excal, Team Peace Lover, and Team Dense. So, first map for Sam. Looks like Nerd is getting the choice here, which is interesting. Or no, sorry, that's Sam's map. So Sam picks Farmlands of the Fallen as the first map. Hi, Marikar Nur Rus. I'm not sure if he's Russian, but I think he's somewhere from Eastern Europe. But I know he's from like the CIS region. Hello, Millard. Hello, Pepsi. Nur might be actually from Kazakhstan. I might be wrong on that though. Let's see what this first matchup is. Demo Laser. Interesting. This is actually quite a fun matchup to play on this map. any US GLA in general. So we got Nur as the USA Laser, and we have Sam as the GLA Demo in purple and cyan respectively. So this map's interesting because you have a variety of build orders you can go for here. You can go very greedy as both the US and the GLA, or you can just play it standard because the base distance between players isn't actually that much. Typically you see players go one of two ways with the US. Either they play it fairly standard, or you play it pretty greedy. So this is a different form of greed that I don't usually play on this map at least, which is 3 supplies, but it is viable in its own right. And it actually can work out because these supplies actually collect a little bit faster because of these piles. And Nur is using one of his dozers to actually have a scout around the middle, see if he can get any worker crosses. But instead of going for an oil eco boom, he's actually gone for a supply eco boom, which is a bit unorthodox as US. I will say that. Meanwhile, Sam's gone for 3 supplies here as GLA. It is pretty easy to get a triple supply as GLA, given how close these 3 supplies are to your starting point. And he's got a TT as his first unit of choice. Nur, I think, is actually going to go Toby spam, and I think against Demo that's not the worst thing, because you do have more expensive technicals as Demo. So this is actually an interesting approach from Nur. And I think he's slightly crafted this build ahead of time, if I were to guess. So kills 1 supply, but there's still 2 other supplies, so it's not like Sam's really gotten a lot. Ooh, I think Sam actually barely missed the cancel on that. So I think he canceled it in time, but that baits the technical into getting killed. Hellfire V over here, just sitting idly, doesn't really do much. Lose the drone, he's gonna lose the V. Bit of mismicro there from Nur. And he's actually loaded up the Nook here with some Rangers. Probably to see if he can clear up Garrison through the middle. Ooh, I think... Okay, he's combat dropping that middle bunker. This tech is loaded with something. It is the TT. And it actually achieves nothing here. And these 2 Hellfire Vs are doing fine. Now he's on the tow missile, and Nur's looking a little bit menacing here. Denies the worker but loses the 2 Vs, but crucially I think denying that tunnel is massive for Nur, because it does mean it can just keep streamlining Vs through the middle. Having said that, Sam does have an aggressive tunnel over here. And this is also the problem with Tovies, is that alone they're actually really weak. But if you have a Tovie blob, and I think Nur is actually transitioning to Rock Vs pretty soon as well here. Because he's made a barracks even, unless he's going to use that for the oil grab. Which actually he might be, because this Chinook I think has Rangers. Yeah, this one over here. Stack RPG is keeping Nur occupied. A lot of Tovies though. And even with this many RPGs, it's going to be hard to approach. Sam does take this bunker. I think Nur had an opportunity to deny that. I think denying this bunker is pretty important, because now you just have a 7 RPG garrison close to your base. There's a TNT, hits the supply again, and it looks like he went for capture instead of the missile defenders. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this headbutting against the garrison. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of indecisiveness from Nur here. But he's gone for the oil grab behind this. So if Nur actually gets these oils behind this, then he is in a potentially very good spot. The only problem is that he is constantly losing his units here. And he's not actually scrap denying much. Another TNT comes in. It's actually going to hit the war factory potentially. No, prioritizes the supply. Not sure if I agree with Sam on that. I think hitting the production is more important here if you already have a lot of money. I'm guessing he's trying to eco hunt him, but I mean, good luck eco hunting through supplies. It's not that easy. I would have honestly just hit the production. Just cut off the units and camp the last war factory. Another wave of techs here, and yeah, this is the problem with constantly losing these Vs from Nerf, because he's never reaching that critical mass he needs to. He's constantly getting like a decent number and then loses it to this tech blob. If he can hold against a wave and then suddenly have an insane number of Vs, then no matter what Geolite throws, they'll probably struggle against that, unless it reaches to like demo bikes. And Sam is nowhere. Oh, as I say that, he has the palace over here, so he does have a 50% palace, but that is a very close palace as well. That's really risky to do, especially because of how close that is. Nur is collecting on 4 nooks here. You should micro 2 of them here. He has a spare one here. You can micro 1 in the middle. Quad cannon now out for Sam to harass these Chinooks. And again, Nur's just kind of sending these B-blobs one by one, and I think that might be his... No, it's not his last dozer, but Sam is microing over here currently. Nur once again basically trading effectively 1 for 1. Sam hits a supply and a dozer. Nur cancels the strat center scaffold. I think he could have just continued there, because it was high enough to where that second terrorist probably wouldn't kill. And yeah, Nur I think is a bit hesitant with how to spend his money, because he is floating a lot. And he's got 3 production buildings. He shouldn't be floating this much, especially given his production. That is the second TNT. Nur needs to protect his dozer if he can. Maybe use a Chinook to airlift it, but he's risking getting hunted here. Sam just commits to the supply here, and Nur's still on 2 supplies, but he's got 83 Chinooks. If I actually count, he has about 9 Chinooks right now. And he's got the demo upgrade on the tech, so that makes a very big difference. A bit overkill from Sam, though, using every tech there to detonate the Vs. But I think now Sam's in a really good spot, and Nur just calls it GG. I wouldn't have even called it GG, because Nur had the oil, so I think Nur was still fine. I think he just needed maybe more rock Vs. I think more rock Vs would have been helpful, or a third war factory. He kept getting to this like concerning V count, and then it just gets reset by the tech blob without ever reaching that critical mass that can just kind of attack move through the map. So I think Nur had a better strategy than Sam there. Oh, wrong score. I think Nur had a better strategy than Sam, but I think Sam just kind of overwhelmed him. MTVs are bad versus demo because you can't intercept the TNTs. You can, and to be honest, it's still better even if you're TT spamming, because you just have a ton of units everywhere to cover for flanking TTs. I don't think Nur did a particularly phenomenal job at stopping the TTs, but can very easily stop TTs with Toby spam. It's when it gets the demo upgrade that this Toby spam kind of falls off, because you just send demo bikes or technicals with detonates to deal with them. Okay, now we got Nur here as the Cyan demo versus Sam as the purple laser. So I'm curious to see what Sam does here. If Sam goes for an eco boom, I imagine it's probably going to be more oil centered rather than supply centered. Nur is going for 3 supplies here. So fairly standard from Sam so far. Let's see what's up. And it's a 3 supply as well. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this 3 supply US. It makes it very easy to just kind of get chased down if you're sending your first tech through the middle and you just see 1 barracks. Or even no barracks, like last game. Because then all you really need to do is chase some dozers and you basically win the game. That's kind of how it goes. That's the big con of these eco builds. You're very susceptible to just getting overwhelmed from the very get-go. If your opponent's aware of it. Sam, at least, will see that there's a TNT and probably a 3 supply setup because of this spy drone. This TNT is pretty important. Because he could actually hunt both dozers here if he's smart. He skips out on the firebase. Hits the supply. Yeah, Nur's not aware that this is eco spam build. If you just drop 1 terrorist here and find the other dozer with your other 2 terrorists, then you basically just win the game from the start. There's no reason to hit the supply. I think it's just a massively missed opportunity there from Nur. He could have just won the game from the get-go. Another TNT is loaded up. And there's still 2 dozers is also the big issue. So even if he kills this war factory and this dozer, he can very quickly rebuild because of the money lead he's got. This tech might get intercepted. Ooh. Will kill the war factory in the V, so that's good for Nur. It's buying him some time. But he is kind of on a timer to act fast because Sam is on 3 supplies. But I like the TT spam. I think the TT spam is a very smart idea against this build. And there hasn't really been much pressure to stop this properly. Nur playing it safe, goes for the supply. Doesn't finish off the firebase, but if he has a couple techs, he could just swoop in and gun it down. Sam might go for the capture because he has a ton of rangers from all these destroyed buildings. Another TNT is being sent. Nur should probably bring some RPGs as well at some point, I imagine. That's 1 terrorist. Kills the dozer and the firebase. Nice force fire. And that was only 1 terrorist, so he did it just for that. Okay, that technical's done its job. Now there's a strat center going up. And I don't think this strat center is going to be that impactful, honestly. Because Nur has a lot of control of the map, so TNT can kind of come from any angle here. And Sam's got to be on 100% on point at this point against the TNTs. Any TNT that sneaks in this strat basically means he's not going to have this advantage anymore. I actually would have preferred if he dropped a second war factory maybe before this. There's the next tech wave, and I think this is the TNT. And Nur is backing up actually. The reposition. There's another TNT actually going up here. And Sam will see that because he has the strat center intelligence. Question is, will he be able to intercept in time? Yeah, Sam sees the TNT. He's moving into position. 4 and 5 nukes actually on 1 supply. TNT does get intercepted. And Sam is transitioning into a capture. Nur is putting his palace at the top left. Doesn't finish off the supply, but kills 1V, which is nice. And Sam is starting to load up some pretty full Vs. Another TNT going in, but this time Sam shouldn't be able to see this because the intelligence should be expired by now. Burton gets a couple shots on that tech, and that might be enough for the Vs to finish it off. Yeah, that was one terrorist. He wanted to go for the hunt or finish off the supply there. Nur is gonna try his luck sending an empty tech here, but I think he wanted to go for the ranger. Misses out on it. Another tech over here. Wanted to also go for the ranger, but misses out on it. Nur's gonna see 2 oils, and he's gonna start really thinking about this V push as well, because it is starting to move across the map. Now, what does Nur have in store for this? No palace yet. He's got the capture, and he's setting up for his own capture. Burton might be able to TNT this oil from behind. Nur's gonna try and TNT this army, which is a bit ambitious. Gets 2 Vs actually. So not ambitious at all, just very courageous. And there is a tech blob going through here. This little German cottage is gonna be taking a couple pot shots at this tech blob. No techs go down yet. Giant tech RPG blob over here. And it's a very cramped corner, so the range advantage is not gonna help these Vs that much here. Strat goes down, which is crucial for Nur. So now the Vs no longer have the range advantage, and Nur's also gonna be on Palace Tech behind this. Soon with demo upgrade, I imagine. First black market's dropped. Another tech gets loaded. Drives straight across the middle. Nope, goes for the left side. Tech is still here. This oil got gunned down, so Sam's basically relegated to 2 supplies and this oil. Technical detonates here, and it looks like this tech is also gonna detonate. He just wants to finish off this oil. Safe move from Nur. I think that's always fine to try and kill the oil. Tractor looks like it cleared up the middle and is getting gunned by the artillery platform. Sam's new strat center is actually quite forward, so this is pretty vulnerable to getting TNT'd. Bit undesirable when it comes to the positioning, at least. Scud Storm is being dropped very aggressively by Nur. I think this is a bit too aggressive of a Scud Storm, because there's only 1 tunnel defending this, and this garrison's gonna go down, so pretty sure this Scud's gonna be reset. Bit of an unnecessary position. No reason to put a Scud aggressive. Doesn't really make a difference. A very nice defensive detonate, but uses all the techs for it again, like last game. Yep, Scud gets cancelled. And is Nur gonna drop a new one in his base? Watching the cache. A couple fire bases being dropped down. No new Scud yet. Oh, I just saw a bunch of cache. Nope, that was a market. Nur is on 3-star, so he's gonna have ambush once that command center finishes. Heard a booby trap placed on the oils. Very important to do this as demo, especially against the US, because if Burton plants a time bomb on that, that actually kills the Burton and prevents Burton from placing the time bomb. Don't see players doing it enough. Should absolutely prioritize booby trapping their oils if they're demo. No reason not to, because the charge is free as well on the Rebel. Tunnel was left over here, so Nur is cockroaching himself back into this position. Sam has been collecting from the mid for a while, but Nur, I think, is going to contest that with a quad. Yep. Bit of lag there. He's just gunning down this Chinook for the moment. Hello Excal, hello Gnex, hello Exile, and Hesso. Technical, probably a TNT coming across the map. Oh, another really good TNT from Nur. Second time this game, this time 3 Vs. And I'm pretty sure some of those Vs were full. Pretty full garrison. Sam drops a spy drone above the tunnel to draw the fire. Very nice as well. Ambush is used. could have been a lot better for Nur and a lot worse for Sam, but kills 2 Vs in an ambo. Yeah, Sam's collection from the mid is being denied by this quad. And Nur is collecting the corners pretty comfortably, with lots of markets behind it. A10 on the oil. Takes out a tunnel and a rebel. Jarman is made. Will Nur set up Jarman to steal some power, or is he just gonna have that defensively with the Vs? 3 Vs are over here. Surprised we don't see any buggies yet from Nur. We do see a demo bike. Buggies are expensive as a demo, but rocket buggies are just very, very good against Vs. Cargo plane cross map. RPGs dropped off to harass the Chinooks again. Once again denying the collection. Nur is going in for a dive bomb on these Vs. Detonates all the techs, but does take 2 Vs. Yeah, I think these technical detonates are quite overkill. He could just pick off with the buggies. Yeah, he's making them now. Because by killing all your techs, yeah, you might kill the Vs, but you're also losing your army, so you're essentially zeroing your army as well, even in the best case scenario. Doing it with like 1 tech is cool, but doing it with like 7 techs is very overkill. Couple demo bikes sneaking through the base, and yeah, this is where demo gets very nasty. Because you just evac, the bike itself does damage, and obviously the terrorist that leaves the bike does damage too. Kills off a war factory. Sam needs to be careful. Yep, he could have lost 5,000 from a particle scaffold. Nur prioritized the drop zone. Very smart play. Kills the drop zone with the bike. And now Sam is only on the middle supply, which can very easily be denied. Sam is effectively on 1 supply here. Yeah, he just mined off his last pile, his other pile is mined out, and his main dock has been mined out. Jarman's positioned here, probably to bait out a V with these RPGs and to just vehicle snipe them. There is a Burton running around the base. Nur might hit the Burton. Will this worker detonate? Oh, Sam was not paying attention to where the worker was. Loses the Burton. Doesn't even finish off the GLA hole, so those markets will rebuild. Two particles here for Sam, but ambush should also be ready very soon, I imagine. Second scud is out for Nur. 1V gets taken out. Every loss at this point is pretty costly for Sam because he is running on fumes. Technical on the left hand side of this middle. Not sure what he's doing. He could use that Jarman to detonate on the Vs. He uses their vehicle snipe instead. I think that was a missed opportunity for Nur. He could have just killed 4 Vs there instantly. He charged the Jarman in and detonated. Nur's actually pulling in a bunch of RPGs. He's planning to spam some buses. Some buses through the sides would actually be pretty lethal in this position. Nur is on a lot of markets. So first particle could also kill quite a few markets. I think the best target is probably the palace and 2 markets. Cut off the buggy production and also kill a few of those secondary economy vehicles. Chinook drop in the back of the base. Nice reaction from Nur. Instantly kills the drop with a worker detonate. Was just a few rangers, but still very nice. Sam calls it GG, knowing that Nur has way too much of the map.
You have been defeated.
And that's a 1-1 so far. So I think this was Sam's map pick, so now Nur will be picking the next map. Appreciate the comments, Hail King. Thank you for complimenting the commentary. So let's see what this next map is gonna be. Definitely not Mountain Guns. He's just picking that for me to enter into the game. Lucas asks, how is the teamwork? Do you give them tips and strats since you're captain? I mean, it's very much a matter of how you want to sort of play as a team. So some people feel like just winging it. Sometimes you might try and give your team pointers or tips in terms of what to expect against certain opponents or how to play or practice. It's kind of like you get to play a little bit with a team of your own, and macromanaging them is up to you and how you see best fit as a captain. So obviously, I think it's pretty important to make sure people are on point before playing the set, and also I think it's important that people know what to expect from their opponents. So I guess that can help give away a little bit of what I'm insinuating there in terms of what captains do. In terms of the matchup, we got Demo versus Nuke. So Sam is Nuke, and he's actually going for an aggressive supply here. Probably to crush this worker over here and to funnel in Battlemasters to the base. Meanwhile, Nur is playing as a Demo, who is just... I think this is Boxton. Yeah, this is Boxton. Who I think is just playing a tunnel build, because I think this was a fake arms either. Just upgraded it. Yep. Aggressive supply truck over here is gonna crush this worker. Millard also says he's surprised when I saw his name. Yeah, I'm surprised just because I haven't seen your name in a while, so there's a surprise there. This worker is still building a tunnel, which is pretty important. Battlemaster's queued up. Supply truck might run into a demo trap. Ooh, barely evades it. And that's gonna hurt Nur massively. Yeah, Nur need to manually detonate that. RPG and a worker, I think? No, it's just an RPG. No, there is a worker. It's in the technical. But the Battlemaster has done a lot of damage, and that Flamer is also gonna clear the garrison anyways. So, pretty bad start here for Nur. He needs to do some kind of damage back before he gets steamrolled by the next wave of Battlemasters, I imagine. There is a Helix out, and it's actually an empty Helix. I think it's just going to be a Gatlix, and yeah, this Battlemaster is charging in. A couple Scorps in position, but no Scorpion rockets yet. Technical gets cleared up. The Battlemaster is setting up to explode. Both Scorpions survive, which is actually quite important. That is very important that both of those Scorpions are alive. Especially if he's queuing up the rockets now. He's actually repairing on the arms here because he doesn't have a tunnel yet. You don't see that very often. It's GLA. Battlemaster is coming. No Scorpion rockets just yet. There is a Helix, and I think this Helix has a Flamer as well. Battlemaster runs into the demo trap, and the Helix is going into 2 RPGs and the quad. I think the Flamer will barely get the drop. No, it doesn't. that is actually massive. I think Sam was a bit overzealous there with that Helix. I think he needed to still sneak that in. Because that one quad and 2 RPGs killed what was effectively 3k worth of units. The Helix with the Gatling cannon is about, what, maybe 2.9k? And it actually has a flamer inside, which is about 800. So that's about 4.5k lost, as a rough estimate. Battlemaster gets taken out. No Scorpion Rockets still for Nur, and I think it's because he cancelled it to make quads because of that Lix. Because he was afraid of a bunker Lix. Sam has 3 supplies and a prop now, and Sam is looking in fantastic shape right now with the nuke. Nur is getting this oil. Does not have a rebel on this oil yet. Nur is getting a sneaky tunnel here, and that could be a potential decider in terms of the outcome of this game. So Nur is making the moves to try and bring himself back, but the question is, can he do it in time? Bunker Lux is being prepped up by Sam. I think that's a bit strange given the fact that he did see quads out already, so I think it's a little bit overconfident there. I think dropping a second war factory and just spamming ground is the better approach, because Demo really can't do anything at that stage. Very, very aggressive palace. I'm not sure what this palace is supposed to achieve. I really hope Nur cancels that. Yeah. No, there was never gonna be a day in the week that was gonna get up. Yeah, I have no clue why Nur built a palace that aggressively. Nur got this right-hand oil, but he still needs to make a palace, because the palace he started was essentially on Sam's side of the map, got cancelled. Although, Nur is making waves in Sam's base. He's actually killed half of his main base already, and he's gonna finish off this war factory. Sam's on low power too, so his production's a little bit hindered. Battlemaster might get out in time? No, it doesn't. That's actually massive. Yeah, this is huge for Nur. What looked like a terrible start for Nur, I think, has slowly fell out of Sam's grasp and has now become an amazing game for Nur. Yeah, I feel like Nur has kind of robbed himself the win from Sam here. Definitely thought Sam was winning this like comfortably, but now Nur's actually, yeah, Nur's actually come back into this. This right hand push was pretty much game winning. I was expecting a push from the left in all honesty, but yeah, that right hand side push was definitely a key moment in this game. The stream is on a delay, by the way, guys, just in case anyone is playing under suspicions or any kind. I believe there's a 60-second stream delay from OBS, and I think YouTube has a natural delay of about 5 to 10 seconds, so effectively 70-second delay on this game. I try to balance between a stream delay that's high and low depending on whether the players involved are trustworthy and whether I think I can get some chat time as well. I believe both players here are pretty trustworthy when it comes to 0-hour honor code, so I've lowered the stream delay a tiny bit just for the set, just for more stream interactions. Relic says he was in a good position. Instead of Bunkerlix, he went for Gatlix with Dragon and threw the game. Yeah, I think that was a pretty big moment there as well from Sam. He definitely could have just flat out won if he had a Bunkerlix, but that Gatlix and Flamer did 0 damage, and he just lost about 4k worth of units for nothing. Overlord and ECM are up, but what is the Palace status? Palace is complete, and lots of RPGs being rallied in front of the arms there, so there is a bus being prepped up. Actually, maybe a TT being prepped up too, so... Big thing for Sam here, though, is that once the Jarman comes out, this game gets extremely difficult. Sam is making a very aggressive CC, because his dozer is still in the middle. He is still collecting off of 3 supplies, technically. So he's not in a bad spot. No 3-star just yet. But again, Sam's production is a little bit bottlenecked because it's essentially just this one war factory. This barracks is pretty useless without having an airfield for Lixus to take for the tank hunters. Let's see. Nur is retaking that oil. Sam does have his base oil still. Sam is making another barracks here. Maybe he wants to bunker off this flank. Yeah, that is actually what he wants to do. Not a bad idea. So this map's a bit weird because it's kind of... Nur's got a reverse C in terms of the control of the map, whereas Sam just has this purple blob inside of the C. Lots of overlords out for Sam, so this is a bit of a scary army, but I would not be surprised if Nur is prepared to deal with this. He's probably got at least one bus, if I were to imagine, because most of those RPGs are gone now. Palace is empty, which is a pretty big mistake. Bunker looks scouted by the terrorist over here. There's another bus. Where is the Jarman is the question. We still have yet to see him. There's the second bus. And a Stinger side as well. There's the Jarman kill we were looking for. Snipes one overlord. Both ECMs are disabling, which means the overlords are prone to the rockets. And that demo bike might finish off the third overlord and the ECM. There's one prop overlord right for the taking for Nur. And now Sam's in a really bad shape because Nur is well ahead to 5-star at this point even. He's already on 4-star and he just needs another 2.5k XP. Nur taking a pretty good engagement once again. Isotopes are actually researched on the overlords, but I think just the superior concave here for Nur is gonna let him win this engagement, despite fighting with quad RPG. Yep. RPG dies to radiation. This is a GAT overlord, so it will detect Jarman if it gets close. He's actually gonna steal it with Jarman, which is not worth it. Definitely not worth it, because he just gave Sam 200 XP for killing an overlord. Yeah, that was not worth taking. You could have sent maybe workers for it, but not the Jarman. Nur, I think, is committing to more buses. He's gotten a quad out now. No AP bullets yet. No AP rockets. Does have shoes, though. Sam will have mined out his side of the middle, so now he's mining out Nur's side of the middle. Huge RPG pop from Nur. And Sam will lose the bunker licks, which is massive. This new airfield has been scouted by this worker from Nur here. Nur could actually demo trap this oil if he's quick. Let's see what he does with the worker. He is microing it. The Proplix is on the chase though, so this worker won't be doing that much. But Nur has yet to use his ambush. Carpet on the palace. It is fortified though, so carpet artillery won't finish it off just yet. Nur cancels the scaffold. Artillery is used. Is that level 2 or level 3? That is level 2 artillery. That won't finish the palace if he's using it on that. It will finish a market though. And Nur's actually tried to repair this a little bit, so I think it'll barely live. Yeah, barely lives. I think those repairs actually saved the palace. So, very nice move from Nur. On the other hand, he did just lose another bus. Jarman is out again, going for a snipe. Snipe the Overlord. Oh, barely out of range. Should probably settle for the ECM at that point. You just want to get the Jarman ability on cooldown. Sam is making more and more helices. And I think Sam is slowly gonna lose grasp of this game because the middle is dried up completely. He's still mining base supplies, which is good, but 2 supplies and an oil versus a pretty fortified demo. And he's still got demo ambush, mind you. He has not used it yet. Overlord gets sniped. There's the ambush. And he uses it to take over the Overlord, actually. But the ECM's quick to disable it. So this Overlord will get taken out from Nur. On the other hand, this Bunker Licks is now critical health. And this Overlord is left fending on its own. And is taken out. So, yeah, Nur is just building up the XP. Resetting the army of Sam constantly while he's building up behind this. And Nur's got a pretty good black market empire. And he's got this oil here, which is also giving him a bit of cash. Once Nur hits 5-star, it's gonna get extremely difficult for Sam here. And he's recycling some of his RPGs as well, which is good. Lotus finally captures this refinery middle. I actually didn't realize this refinery wasn't captured. That actually makes a big difference for Overlords, because you save 200 for every Overlord purchase through the refinery. That 200 is not like a small amount. That's almost like a supply truck's collection. Overlord in the tunnel here for Nur. I'm gonna have a poke at the Gatling cannon. There were quads in that tunnel, so Sam needs to be careful if he engages. Battle Bus is also frontlining a little bit. There are the quads. Under propaganda with the Vet 2 as well. No AP bullets, so if he had AP, this Bunker Licks would have surely died here. Does he have AP rockets? Still no AP rockets as well. Yeah, Nur is missing the pretty important damage upgrades here. Definitely think it makes a difference in engagements like those, especially against Helix, to have AP bullets. Zoom the scoreboard, please. I try not to have too much of the scoreboard covering the screen, so the gameplay can be seen without any distractions. Otherwise, I make the scoreboard big, it's just gonna have a noticeable text for you guys while I'm casting. Instead of those Lixes, an army of 6 Ovies and ECM, Troop Crawler, we could have maybe won the game. I think maybe 2 Lixes was fine, but he'd had to keep saving the Lixes. Because he kept losing his Lixes, he had to replenish them. Because I think Overlords plus Lixes are very deadly. Overlords on their own aren't that deadly against Demo, because you can just ram Demo Bikes into these Overlords from different directions and easily take out the army. Having said that, Sam's not really making a move with his Lixes, which he really should be right now. Because this is the perfect time to go in with Lixes. But Nur has actually been broken through in his main base with these Overlords. I think that last engagement, losing the bus here, Sam recognized that he didn't have that much left after he lost that army, so he just kind of went in. There's the massive quad pop. Still no AP bullets, which is really, really shameful at this point. Nur loses his entire army, and I think he lost the game essentially because of this. Yeah, this was... Yeah, it's really shameful actually. I really think Nur could have won this game. He had an excellent comeback going, but I think he just kind of screwed up the mid game a little bit here. Just missing key upgrades. He could have killed 1 Lix earlier if he had AP bullets. then this Lix engagement would have been easier. And then he could have just kited the Overlords with his remaining army. But now Nur is going to lose the game. Yeah, small little mistakes like that add up. Big ambush there from Nur. Level 2 ambush kills most of the army. But importantly kills the ECMs. But Palace is going to get hit hard, I think. No, not the Palace. I think the market is going to get hit hard with level 3 artillery. Sam is still very much on fumes as well, though. He's got a bit of cash left, about 4k here, and about 2k here. And an oil. And Nur's got 14k, but the problem is he's not spending it. He needs to spread workers around his tunnels and start spamming arms dealers to try and get any units out. He needs to have a worker here, make an arms dealer there, for example. Could also tunnel around here. He's not really doing much in that regard. He's probably queued up a Jarman. Lots of outposts this time though, so it's gonna easily deal with the Jarman. But yeah, Sam's dealt with this side now, and now Nur's very limited in terms of build space. This Overlord is trying to 1v1 the Palace, does lose predictably. Nur is very close to 5-star though, but he's still rebuilding the CC. Lotus should be able to easily take over this oil again. And Nur with an 11k float just doesn't really have places to spend the money at this point. Demo bike is out. Snipes the Overlord. Demo bike stops at an unfortunate time. Carpet's gonna clear up a lot of tunnel scaffolds here. Just one. Ooh, nice demo bike there from Nur. It's a solid hit. The problem for Nur now is these Lixes are still alive and he has very few quads out. Another demo bike out. These demo bikes are doing well. I'm not sure why Sam is holding back with the Lixes. He should just go at the same time because he knows there's no army inside the tunnel. Nur still has no AP rockets yet. Yeah, Nur is floating 13k and he's not getting the black market upgrades. It's a bit strange. I think that's an EMP. Disables the Stinger sights, so now the Lixus can go in. Still no AP bullets. Man, you gotta get those black market upgrades. You can't just skip out on those. Not at this stage of the game with a 11k floats. Let's see. Yeah, Lixes are clearing up the left-hand side of the base now. This palace is pretty full though, so it will dissuade the Lixes from pushing in. Does clear up another market, and Nur has 2 markets left, so even though this looks bad for Nur, it's still very much winnable for him if he gets a really good demo bike hit on this army, and maybe these Lixes mess up here. He needs a really, really good sneak attack as well if he does defend this to win. But Sam is spending every last bit of money because now he is fully dried up on all his supplies. It is basically just this army and 2 oils that is fueling his economy. Anthrax Bomb is pretty useless against this army because the Overlords can just force fire the Anthrax. So ambush is gonna have to be the thing that clears this army up. Anthrax Bomb gets dropped off, but as I say that, the Overlord just cleared up the radiation shells. And the Lixes are gunning down the CC. There is a bus, but it is empty, and Nur has a very, very aggressive pop. Sneak attack actually next to the Lixes as well. Loses the 2 quads. Bus gets away, but the base is pretty much dead. I think this is Nur's last worker. And Nur says GG. Yeah, real shame that. I think Nur definitely could have won that game. Sam had a phenomenal start, but Nur had an amazing recovery. But his mid game just was very lacking. Yeah, it was just a very lacking mid game there from Nur. Don't think Nur made massive mistakes. Really surprised how Sam pulled this off. I think Nur made mistakes strategically in the mid game. Not getting the black market upgrades. Not um making that aggressive palace on the left side. Delayed his palace power spike a little bit. So if he got it like maybe 30 seconds or a minute earlier, could have made a big difference. Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement for Nur there. Just think he had the tools, but he just didn't really close out the game properly. Am I reading the comments or not? I am reading the comments, Mustafa. I already said why the text is not that big because I try to not have it cover most of the screen. And this is the sort of size I've been using for months. I try not to make it bigger than this because it tends to cover too much of the screen at that point. Do also ask that even though it's okay to criticize the play here, try not to criticize the players specifically. Just cause it's not very nice. That's basically it. So yeah, just it's okay to like comment on like play and stuff, but not okay to like start saying like lol's so bad or whatever. Just seems a bit unnecessary. Okay, we got Sam here as the purple demo now. In the bottom of Imminent Victory against Nur, who is the Cyan Nuke on the top of Imminent Victory. So Nur is playing a bit more standard supplies. Just going with 2 base supplies. And Sam, yeah, so far is playing a relatively standard. I'm not seeing anything special here. Fake arms either, so he's gonna make a couple more tunnels than usual. Nur is just going with the 2 War Factory for here for Nuke. Basically as standard as Nuke gets versus GLA. Another work here. Will we see a demo trap? A couple random demo traps could be game changing as well versus Nuke. Got a TNT and what I assume is a tech RPG. Nope, TNT plus worker. First Battlemaster on the left, second one through the middle. We'll run into some garrisons though, but I think he's going far right, which is pretty smart. Just to avoid the garrisons altogether. TNT is going through the left-hand side of the map. This Battlemaster stops, but is gonna keep going forward. Meanwhile, this TNT does not run into the War Factory with mines, so unfortunate for Nur. He did try to bait out a TNT, but it just went on a different target. Battlmasters are making progress, and this truck is getting gunned. Battlemaster may reach the supply line. Does kill a few RPGs. Technical actually gets a truck. And Nur is now positioned defensively. Fake Barracks gets gunned down by the Battlemaster. And now the Battlemaster's in the supply line. And the Scorpion still doesn't have Scorpion rockets as well. So this is very important for Nur. This eco damage is pretty massive. And he's actually going to take that Scorpion with it and stay alive. Sam is mining off the middle now. question is, can Nur keep up the pressure? Because he did get TNT'd in his base, so he's a little bit on the back foot. Battlemaster has to retreat from this garrison. He is paying attention. Another... Oh, it's the same technical from before. He's gonna go for some trucks again. And Nur is gonna be forced to respond to this as well. Another truck goes down. And will he get the scrap deny? He might not scrap deny this in time if he's not careful. Does deny it. Flamer through the middle to clear up the garrisons. But losing 2 trucks is pretty costly there. Nur has a 3rd truck on his left, so he could just micro that over. Terrace is just getting rallied across the map. I don't think Nur has seen it. Battlemasters are dangerously close to each other, so could be a very big explosion, especially because 2 of the Battlemasters are already low. Oh, that demo trap. Nur needs to be so careful. That one Battlemaster is so low. Oh, that demo trap's gonna kill them all. Ah! He lost 5 Battlemasters, and I think that's GG. Yeah, losing 5 Battlemasters like that and having the tech harass your trucks at the same time, that's just game ending right there. And Sam is gonna not get a super tech yet, but he is doing very, very annoying economic damage for Nur here. Sam is 55% to Opalis, meanwhile Nur is 51%. So by the time Nur has overlords, a Jarman will already be queued up. Yeah, that demo trap killed 5 Battlemasters and probably won Sam the game. Technical going in from the right hand side. Who do I think will be the next expert? I have no clue. Lotus is out. He's gonna try and disable this tech. Gets disable, and the ACM will follow up with more disables, but I think Sam just has too much of the map for Abuka to really do, or I say Abuka, for Nur to really do anything at this point. Nur is trying to be fancy, trying to crush an unmicro terrorist, but Sam is paying attention. And now this terrorist is actually going to support against this ECM, so the technical is back. And it's actually going to hit the Lotus. Doesn't deny the cap, but it kills the Lotus still. And he's got a super tech now. And yeah, I mean, at this point, this is just insult to injury. It's just a matter of time until Sam basically takes the whole of middle. He's got a bus prepped up, and Nur's got an Overlord and ECM. Yeah, as RPGs being rallied in from all over the map from these tunnels, just for bus spam. Sam has got this oil, he's gonna get this oil as well. And I'm fairly confident this time in saying that I think Sam has won this game. Overlords are pressing from the left hand side. No subliminal messaging just yet. Super Tech is still alive for Sam as well. Lotus does get denied on the right hand side. Another bus has been made. Demo upgrade out for Sam. No shoes just yet. Oil was taken out here. Super Tech is going in once again. We have yet to see the Jarman actually from Sam. And yeah, Super Tech. This one technical has killed maybe 10 trucks this game. It is insane how cost efficient that technical's been. And once you have even the grenade tech, it's just so brutal against China. Yeah, this one technical has basically been alive since the very beginning. This is the same technical that actually did the TNT. That is actually crazy to think about. How I put that into words. It's now gonna get a supply as well. And there's the Jarman. Snipes one Overlord. Battle bus is coming in. ECM disables, but with the support of the Super Tech, will it be able to brute force through the disable and the ECM? Doesn't. Technical still survives. He might try and suicide that for the Overlord. Distracts the ECM, kills the Jarman, but this technical is still somehow alive. Which is just beyond me. This one tech has done so much this game. Yeah, GG from Nerd, GG from Sam.
You have been
And
defeated.
I wouldn't be surprised if like this technical has killed maybe 11 or 12 of these units. Like that one technical killed probably half of got probably half the kills for Sam. It's insane. Hello, Flamic. Oh. So now I believe it is Sam's pick again. So Sam's leading 3-1. Marikar is screaming of joy. Always cool to see this map. Oh, wow. This is a matchup. Okay. Super Weapon versus Tox on Oil Rampage. Normally, this matchup's pretty heavily favored towards Tox, but this map kind of throws the balance off a little bit and makes Super Weapon pretty damn good, given the pretty tight choke point entrances. So, very good chance for Super Weapon to win on this map, for this matchup in particular. So, got Tox for Cyan, that is Nur, and we got Super Weapon in purple, that is Sam. So, typically what I tend to see is people will go for a Dozer plus Ranger drop against GLA. If they want to play it a little aggressive, they might make a proxy barracks in the base, while also getting some of GLA's oils, while also back expanding for their own oils. You don't really need the early war factories, so can kind of abuse the fact that missile defenders are quite good as just a standalone ground unit, and just play around that. 3 barracks actually for Sam. I'm not sure if I like 3 barracks in the base at least. I would have at least liked it if he went proxy barracks as his third, but I think 3 base barracks is a bit overkill. Because you can get enough rangers into position with MDs as well for the first tech to easily do it on 2. 3 doesn't really get you much else. You might get like a few oils like a couple seconds earlier, but in the grand scheme of things it doesn't really matter. You kind of want to just be spreading your money as far wide as possible basically on this map. That's kind of how it goes. Patriot out in the middle for Sam. He's making a second Patriot on the right. Nur is sending his first tech in the middle, but I think it'll get stopped by this EMP. And Nur really needs to think about how to break through the super weapon wall, because once super weapon is walled in with a line of EMPs and they quickly transition to alphas because of how much money you have, you gotta be very, very fast on your feet in terms of pushing. Otherwise, it is kind of just an almost instant loss if you don't do anything about it. Nura's got himself a couple oils behind this. I think he has a TNT prepped up. He's dropped off his terrorists a bit far off from the EMP, but he will just try and walk to kill it. Sam is paying attention. He could micro the EMP to kill the terrorists, but I don't think he is. That EMP kill is actually quite important because that opens a direct entrance to the front. Nur should also probably clear this up with the Tox Rebel. Advantage of Tox is you can very easily clear these bunkers. Nur will try and deny the capture on the top left, but he doesn't deny it, and the oils are captured anyways. One V gets super low, but doesn't really get followed up on. What is Nur doing behind this? Lots of terrorists, so he's trying to TNT spam it. Tech gets in, but this is an empty tech, so I'm not exactly sure what this is meant to achieve here. Gets crushed on 1 MD. Yeah, Nur has a lot of units laying around, but he's not really making much use of them. Or if he is using them, he's not really making the best use of them. He's got a couple Tox Rebels laying around still. Still has not captured the refinery. Still has not captured this oil. That's a mistake. He should be using some of his Tox Rebels from his capture to clear up this bunker, because abusing this position lets you easily tunnel crawl into the super weapons base for the left, but he's not doing the best job at that. He's kind of just suiciding terror techs into these oils, which is good, but you need to prioritize the super weapons strat and tech more than anything. Like, he's doing good in terms of these individual snipes, but he's not really setting himself up to win the game. Again, he's dropping 2 terrorists on 2 EMPs this time. Far off to try and clear them up. This one will get cleared up. This one probably won't because these rangers are defending the EMP. So if the terrorists go in, they will just get gunned down. Particle is up super early for Sam. Should see an Aurora soon. He should start working on an airfield. I'm not sure why he hasn't just yet. If that is a TNT for the strat, that could be massive actually. And it is. But he's going for the oil. No, that's a bad play. That's a really bad play. Why would you not kill the strat against super weapon of all things? That just seems horrendous. Yeah, I think that's just... Again, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, Nur has all the right pieces of the puzzle, but he's just putting them in wrong. He's selecting the wrong targets. this oil is good to kill, yes, but this Strat Center is infinitely more important at this stage of the game. It just seems very bizarre to kill an oil over a Strat Center at this stage of the game, please. Binary is not captured. Delete the stream before Dominator sees it. Okay. But yeah, now this Alpha is gonna get up, which wouldn't have been up if he killed the Strat, and these Vs would have been engageable. But he's still got S&D on these Vs, so he can't engage them with the techs and buggies. And I think this was literally a game-losing moment, because if Nur killed that Strat, I mean, Sam would have easily been set back to at least wait about a minute or two before he attacks again. And that buys Nur plenty of time for these Scuds to also start their timers. Yeah, it's just not... really not pleased with this kind of strat. Again, he knows the strat is here. Why is he focusing the oils? He had a free path to the Strat Center a second time versus Super Weapon. And he's not killing the Strat Center. And he's actually failed to kill this oil. I mean, even thinking about killing this oil is just wrong. It doesn't make sense. This tech is loaded with something, but he's not actually doing anything. It's gonna let this EMP get up. I mean, what are you microing here, man? You gotta be microing something. What are you microing? The Scud Storm? Alphas are up now. Sam will lose 2 alphas pretty haphazardly, but I mean, at this point, Super Weapon's bunkered in. And once Super Weapon's bunkered in, I mean, no matter what you pull out, you're kind of screwed. Burton is time bombing the palace. It has fortified structure, so it won't die super fast. Even with the Burton gunning it down, yeah, it'll take it to about less than half. MD's walked into the tunnel probably because of laser locked the buggy that was still in. Burton gets cleared up, but yeah, at this point, particles plus alphas, nothing that Nur can do to win this. This is basically over already. Unless Nur gets an amazing hit on this army and Sam loses every single Aurora, I just don't see how Nur comes back. Spectre is coming in on the oil. Nur is making the right move. He's spamming Scuds because that is the only way to win in this position. So I'm glad he's not market spamming. Nur is preemptively making a CC, so if he does get 3-star quick, he can at least ambush. No Gamma upgrade yet as well, which is pretty important for the RPGs mainly against these alphas. Van's training up actually for Sam. And these RPGs get instantly sniped by the Pathfinders. No bookie ammo just yet either. Alpha is taking off. And Particle is ready. Sam could honestly just Particle the Arms Eaters and win like flat out if he sees the base. He's just gonna hit these tunnels and let the Vs make their way into the base themselves. And yeah, Sam should realize he's on top of the production, so if he just kills the Arms Eaters, he wins basically. Nur is not at 3-star yet, so he can't Tox Ambush, and even if he does have Tox Ambush, there are quite a few Pathfinders, I think, in these Vs. And Nur says GG and Sam says 2G. Yeah, really poor decision making, I think, from Nur there. Like, exceptionally poor decision making. He could have killed the Strat Center twice there, actually. And he was prioritizing oils over Strat. Yeah, you can't make mistakes like that. The mistakes like that are just game losing. You can't do that. Exile says Scudbug would be pretty good. It would if it was allowed. Yeah, I think that was just really bad strats there. Really needed to see those strat centers being hit with the TNTs. But I think he just kind of over focused on the oils a bit too much. So now we're gonna see the reverse of this, and as I said, Super Weapon does have a good chance of winning in this map, so see if Ner pulls it back the other way around. It is, I think, 4-1 to Sam right now. So we got Ner now as the Cyan USA, and Sam as the Purple Tox. Double barracks here from Sam. And I'm assuming a double barracks for Ner as well. Yeah, that 3 barracks build isn't really that great in all honesty. I think it's just overkill in terms of building 3, because 2 just does the same thing. Ner is doing what I like to do actually, I think here. Yeah, 2 rangers and a dozer. So you do 2 rangers from your first barracks and the capture. And you spam rangers from the other one as well as MDs once you have enough rangers spread around. And he's gonna probably try and either deny a worker first, or he's just gonna go straight in the back corner. Yeah, he's gonna go straight for the back corner. Against Tox, this is a bit difficult because the Tox Rebels obviously insta-give the infantry pretty hard. But you do have a dozer to crush the Tox Rebels as well. Now, will he make a barracks is the question and start making of these? He will. Okay. Lots of Tox Rebels spread around for Sam. No aggressive workers, actually. So, that could be a big thing here going for Ner here, is that there is no proxy tunnel to threaten his base immediately. It's just gonna be technical waves he has to worry about. This tech is gonna... Oh, big mistake there from Sam. Kills his own tech, actually. Gets a dozer, but losing that tech means he's gonna let these rangers get the caps. That is massive, actually, for Ner to get these captures. That's just an extra 2k that he's secured himself for free. Not to mention, he's also getting that bit of passive income until Sam retakes these oils. And I think this drop already has paid off for itself. So that's very good start from Ner. Now, what can Ner do behind this? Drops a war factory. No second supply just yet, but lots of MDs scattered around. He needs to be on point with these laser locks in order to stop the ranger denies. Rangers get the front oils now as well. This tech is empty, but runs into an EMP. This tech gets denied as well. And Ner is actually looking in a very convincing position. And he's immediately dropped down his strat. He needs to get a Patriot in the front and the left side to fully seal himself, but if he gets to search and destroy Vs at this stage, I mean, I think Ner just instantly wins. Sam is prepping up some TNTs, but he's actually on 1 arms dealer only. So his production's not that high. There are a lot of MDs scattered around, so it's going to be tough to get the laser locks. No oil refinery capture yet. This oil is still missing. Sam is missing the refinery, but he has got all his other oils. I think this is a Tox Rebel inside of this. Okay, Tox Rebel and RPGs with a worker. Yep, this is what I was talking about last game. This one Tox Rebel bunker is very deadly. And there's actually a second one here, but I think... Ooh, it was a TNT. Doesn't even kill the bunker. Yeah, that TNT was definitely for the strat. And I think he has flashbangs. He does have flashbangs. Good evac response from Sam, but search is out now. More doses being made from Nur. And Sam is still on the one arms dealer. Loses a V here, pretty unnecessarily.
Search and destroy.
Ranger gets caught out. This dozer is gonna get sniped from this garrison. Mistake there from Nur. Garrison finally gets cleared up. Yep. The RPGs are weak enough to where they just die to the flashbangs on the building. And Nur should think about pushing now because he's got that search. He needs to make use of his advantage. Technical is coming in. I think this is a TNT. It's looking for the strat. And he's hitting an oil again. He's playing it safe, I get it. But I think this is still very stupid from Sam to be prioritizing an oil over a strat. Because in the next 1 minute, the thing that is going to be killing you is not this oil. The things that is going to be killing you are alphas and SNDPs. So even if your TNT fails, killing this oil is not a consolation prize. It actually does nothing in terms of the impact of this game. So bad move from Sam once again. Did not learn from Nur's mistakes. But Nur is learning from Sam's success in that he is abusing the fact that he has these SNDVs and is making waves in Sam's base. There is a buggy out and a good quad pop there. TNT as well for Sam. This one, please tell me it hits the strat center. Again, he's hitting oils instead of the strat, which makes 0 sense. I just do not get it. Do people not like the strat center? Is hitting the strat center too controversial, or what is going on? He knows there's a strat right there. He should have seen it from the map, but he hasn't beaconed. Particle cannon is up for Nur. Doesn't finish the supply. It's still left to the hole, but it'll delay it a bit. He should micro this ambulance at least to try and deny this worker. Could have delayed the scud a couple seconds. That does make a big difference for super weapon wars at least. And now Nur is gonna be on alphas. And he's EMP'd over here. He's making a particle here. He should make the supply first at least because the supply builds quick. He's actually still mining on one supply long distance. Got a couple bans in the chat. 2 scuds out for Sam. That is important that he has a second scud out before the second particle. Scud storm takes about 7 minutes to fire, if I remember, from when the scaffold is placed, assuming the worker is right next to the scaffold. So it's about 2 minutes to build and 5 minutes for the actual scud storm cooldown. Particle is much shorter than that, plus you have a shorter cooldown, so it is very important to get those scud timers going before the particle timers. And Sam's actually got a lot of scuds already. Granted, Nur is -2 oils down, but Sam is also -1 oil, and Nur will get Spectre soon to clear up one of these back oils, I imagine, because he is only 200 XP from 3-star. Quad gets hit. Technical is going in. And a TNT tries to go for these front oils. Gets the oil. That's good. I mean, at this point, you have EMPs on all of the flanks. This flank is empty, but I don't know if Sam realized that. Plus, there's a spy drone, so Nur can actually intercept that quite easily. So he's just going for the safe oil. At this point, it's okay to go for the oils, but earlier, he had 0 reason not to go for the strat. There's an alpha, 2 alphas up in the air. Advanced training again, very early for Nur. These alphas could be deadly here. Gets 3 buggies. And he might get the bus. Doesn't get the bus, barely misses it. Ambo is giving a bit of cover for the Vs on the retreat. But bus does get stopped. And now there's 4 particles versus 3 scuds. There's going to be a 5th particle, but I think that might put him low power. No, he's got excess power. 6th particle coming up. He needs to make this supply over here. He's still not collecting off of it. And it's 9 minutes into the game. Couple techs coming in. This was a decoy. This was the real tech. So the real tech does get intercepted, unfortunately, while the decoy is left alive. Worker does get hit over here and sent into orbit. Aurora does finish off the other oil here. So that's -2 oils for Nur. He should kill a 3rd oil now because he has Spectre. Don't know if he's used it or not. Doesn't look like it. But lots of scuds here for Sam. And Nur needs to also start thinking about whether he needs to push on this right-hand side, actually. Because most of the scuds are here, so if he just kills these tunnels, and he's killing them with the Auroras, then he could actually just V-push. Whereas Sam needs to think about obviously hitting the powers with the scuds, making sure the scuds stay alive at all costs, and also for this potential V-push. Scud is getting hit over here by Spectre and Particle. So he was saving the Spectre for the Scud Storm. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. Whoosh there from the Spectre. And I don't know if that was the first Scud there, because there's still a Scud that's gonna fire in 1 minute. Lots of alphas out. And actually not that many stinger sites, so most of these tunnels are gonna be free pickings. Nur is actually sacrificing oh, what? I think he swapped targets on this last minute, expecting a pop. Oh no, there's an A10 follow-up, okay. And that was the Scud that was gonna fire soon. Good track of time from Nur, actually. Okay. Nur is keeping track of the Scuds, which is very important. And he's still not collecting off this supply for some reason. I have no clue why. This is such an easy supply. It's literally 10 seconds, make a supply, press C on your supply center, and you're collecting, and you have double the money you have now. Because you're collecting on 1. You're going to be on 2 times the collection. No AP from Sam. There is AP rockets, which is pretty important actually for these RPGs. That's going to make them do 45% extra damage on top of the Anthrax Gamma. Ooh, that alpha could be very good. That's a really good alpha hit. Scud is going to fire soon, but so are these 2 particles. But I'm afraid for Nur that these 2 particles are probably not going to stop the Scud from firing. It will probably fire a couple rockets before it dies. Oh, okay, there we go. Sam is spamming the crap out of the Scud fire button, I imagine. Oh, that wasn't the Scud that was gonna fire. Oh, that's really nasty for Nur. That was not the Scud that was gonna fire. Oh, he might lose his alphas. That would be a massive hit if he does. Sam actually clears the front line. I think he was trying to get a jackpot hit on the army, but he didn't really get much. He just caught an EMP and 2 Vs. All the alphas are still alive. He is low power, but not for long. Buggies are picking off these Vs while the power is offline. Alphas are being used. Nur is 4-star as well. He did use level 2 A10, so he's got no access to Pathfinders just yet. Now Sam could abuse the fact that, okay, I was gonna say if he was still low power, he could try and look for a dozer and get power. Then that changes the dynamic quite a bit. Angry mobs are actually coming in. Very smart from Sam, because these mobs aren't gonna be dealt with by EMPs. Spectre is on another Scud Sword. So I think, oh, but they will be dealt with by the Auroras. And this Jarman's kind of going to town. And these buggies are on top of the airfield. And that's the Aurora's gone. Yeah, and this is Jarman. Vet 3 Jarman just kind of going full machine gun mode. Gets taken out by the V. Now you have Vet 3 Humvee. Scud doesn't actually get intercepted. The Spectre didn't combo in time with the particle. And I have a feeling that's gonna be on the power plant to the production. Finally, the stress center gets hit. War Factor does get hit as well, which means Sam has effectively stun locked Ner from production. So now it's just MDs he can make. And I'm afraid Nur has been broken through, and while Nur was on top of the Scud game, I think he did not focus on the fact that he could just get overrun by an army. So he didn't really have a high army count. Particle is still not used by Nur. It's a bit indecisive. I think he's just overwhelmed, and I think he recognizes that he's very likely lost this game. Yeah, very unfortunate stuff here for Nur. Oh, misses the crush on this rebel. Sam's actually got rebels of his own, or oils of his own in Nur's base. Nur uses a defensive particle cannon. Sam's got powers, and he's gonna be making things at double production. And Nur says GG, and Sam says GG.
You
Yeah,
have been defeated.
I mean, that was a nice scud to break the front and then follow up through the middle. I didn't actually think he was gonna go for that. I thought he was gonna go for powers, but that also works. Where does Merricker live? I do not live in Texas. I actually don't live in Texas. That's very far off from where I live. So that is a 5-1 lead for Sam right now. China versus Tox on Yelling Avalanche. Sam will probably be happy, because this is a pretty comfortable 1-1 matchup. So we got Sam in purple as the Tox on top of Yelling Avalanche versus Nur, who's on the bottom of Yelling Avalanche as China Vanilla. So I think Nur will probably go Helix, if I were to guess. Because I think going ground as China here is pretty tough, unless you're doing some kind of all-in. leads off of the barracks. Probably is going to go for capture. And we'll have a Helix as a follow-up to that. Meanwhile, Sam's just playing it standard. 2 supplies. Fake arms here to get tunnels across the map. And there's the airfield. So this map is pretty nice. Got a couple safe oils. This one's heavily damaged, so if you hit the barrels, it actually just kills the oil if you don't repair it. Same with this middle oil over here. Got some front supplies here. Middle supply here, covered by a few garrisons and this artillery platform. Oh, the eating was on the microphone? My bad, sorry about that. I was muting my microphone for a second. Let's see. No, I do not live in the US, Mark Smith. Terrorists might kill these RPGs if he's not paying attention. There is paying attention. He will get these 2 safe oils. No, I don't live in Egypt either right now, at least. Like. There is a terrorist over here. Might hit the dozer, but it does get stopped. Two quads out for Sam. No oil caps, he's just pumping out quads. Will Nur be able to defend against this first quad wave? This is the wave that is probably the hardest to deal with in the beginning. And him focusing on the dozer is actually bought him time to actually jump these quads. And now he's got 2 bunker elixers and a prop tower elixir soon. But that is a lot of RPGs he's fighting into, and Nur just might flat out lose elixir or 2 here. Wow, okay, Nur does not lose any licks, but all 3 elixirs are damaged. That is the first time I think I've ever seen a situation where all 3 elixirs like this are super heavily damaged. Usually you see like 1 licks heavily damaged, or maybe 2. But all 3 like this is pretty rare. Okay. Yeah, the repair is coming in handy now because it's actually buying time for this red guard to defend. And Nur is sending the health helix to clear up the RPGs. Very nice micro. Very nice helix micro so far. Other dozer is safe and sound. Sam is expanding to a 3rd. This tunnel was cleared up, which is pretty important. And Nur actually has a choice here. He could commit to helix spamming, because he's still on 2 oils, 2 supplies. He could actually make a second airfield. Or, what I would suggest is going War Factory so he can start clearing up these Tox RPG garrisons. I appreciate I have your permission to eat GNX. Garrison does get gunned down and killed. Pretty important to kill these garrisons if you have the opportunity. Lots of quads out for Sam, but only 1 tunnel to pop from. And Nur is actually making me very happy here because I've not seen someone pull off good China vanilla helices like this in a good while. Yeah, Nur is actually putting in some great micro with the helix. This is very impressive stuff. And Nur is literally just cleaning out the entire right-hand side of the map, including Sam's base. And with these dragons, I think Nur could honestly jump these tunnels if he sets up a flame wall or 2. Yeah, Sam's got a bad pop, and if he clears RPGs, and Sam loses the China versus China Vanilla as Tox, this could be massive for
You
Nur,
have been defeated.
because the reverse is not hard to win. I think that beginning screw up where he overcommitted on the dozer with his 2 quads costed him the game. Massive win for Nur. Yeah, Nerd played that pretty fantastically. I think that was almost perfect. He only lost 7 units. I don't even know what 7 units he lost in all honesty. Now we got the reverse. Now it's gonna be Sam playing as the China Vanilla versus Nur in the GLA talks. Wait, why is he saying question mark? I'm confused. I think they're just joking around. um. So yeah, now Nerd's gonna be playing the talks and Sam is the China. So, will Sam go for the same thing, or will he mix it up? And the answer to that is yes, he will mix it up because he's going for a forward supply. Question is this a Helix follow-up or is this a Flamer follow-up? I feel like there's so much potential for high skill micro, but it's not too common. I wish more people did manual shots with artillery to move targets, to hit moving targets. I've seen it attempted. I do that quite a bit with artillery. I know in high level GLA mirrors, people do that to focus down Jarmans, where they can try and predict where a Jarman moves. So they try to hit Jarman based off which direction he's walking. Aside from that, I do it with other artillery. Like I do that with scud launchers quite a bit. Oh, this supply has not been finished yet. That's pretty bad for Nerd. It's actually War Factory Airfield. Ooh, this is like a classic build. Sam's made an extra truck by accident, but okay, the tunnel does finish, which is very important because if Nerd didn't have that supply early, that'd be very bad. Tech RPG is out with a grenade tech as well. That grenade tech could be very big. Sam's sending the spare truck forward. Don't agree with this. I would just collect from a different pile here. And Sam just says GG. I made 8 trucks. That's a pretty... I mean,
You have
what
been
else can I say
defeated.
there? uh, what else can I say there? I mean, that just seems like a very strange mistake from Sam. I was expecting like a flamer drop or something. Or at least a flamer follow-up, but Sam was spamming trucks. Yeah, don't really know what else to comment on that. Dark Nine says that's luckiness, not high skill micro. I mean, yeah, that it's the micro part of it isn't the opportunity. The micro part of it was just moving the actual elixirs. The opportunity was pretty lucky there for Nur. I do have to say that because Sam was effectively wasting his early quads on a dozer, which means Nur has more helixes than Sam has quads, which makes a massive difference early on. Mark Smith says minus 10 points. Don't think it is. I can double check. Yeah, it's not. I'm just gonna list the maps until he says something. Okay. Mountain oil. Is this in the map pool? This is not in the map pool. Yeah, Mountain Mayhem. Okay. Interesting map. More eco maps. So this is the last random reverse until the end mirror as well. And you stop making maps with the same starting name. Fortunately, not a lot. Calm down. Oh, another GLA China game, but it's Inf versus GLA. Okay. This matchup's interesting. Because you have the crate in your base as well. Which means, as China, you can very comfortably get on 3 supplies early. If you sell the CC. You can also get a very early war factory if you go for Helix as well here. Nerd has not actually picked up the crate yet. It looks like it is a Lix. He'll just pick it up with a tank hunter. And it is a Helix, yeah. I do think Helix is very good on this map. Lots of cliffs to abuse. So, easy to navigate the terrain for the Lix, not so easy for the quads. You do have that 1k as well, obviously, for GLA, so you have to be a little bit careful, because could be a lot of tunnels out early. Very curious to see what this extra cash is used for. I think it's used for this extra truck, actually. Which is already paid for itself, because denying any middle control early on is massive for infantry. Especially if you're going for a Helix. Because it limits how GLA can play quite a bit. And this truck is going for a bit of a rendezvous into the supply line of Sam. Which will force Sam to draw his workers away. If he micros. And there is going the other direction though. I think it was just better to suicide the truck at that point. And their Lix is out on the hunt. Sam is actually going capture upgrade, which I think is a very bad idea in this match because of how easy it is to get helixed. I think this was a bit too greedy from Sam. And he has lost 9 RPGs, including his tech RPG that was supposed to go for the base. Terrorist actually explodes the RPG. And if Nerd was selecting that rebel as well, he could see that Sam went for capture, which he does realize, and he's killed the oil and the rebel. So very good start from Nur, actually. Does essentially hard counter the build of Sam. And Nur is just looking around for any lingering tunnels. Will he spot this tunnel is the question. If this tunnel gets denied, that is massive. Meanwhile, Sam is walking quads to the middle. This tunnel does actually get spotted, which is very crucial. Flamix says Sam is mauling. I would not be surprised, given a start like that from the last game. And this game's start is actually very bad as well. Nur is actually transitioning very nicely into a prop center now. Sam may still get this oil up. He has this oil tunneled up and with an RPG in quads, so I'm not sure how much Nur will stop that. Nur doesn't stop this. Will he kill this oil? Or will he just wait for the Lotus? I think he is just gonna wait for a Lotus. Which I don't think is a bad call, honestly, because he is very close to Lotus. And this is pretty unguarded, so it's actually quite easy to break that. The thing Nur has to worry about, though, is where is he going to push with his main army, because Sam is quite scattered around with these tunnels. So he needs to think about both defending against this next counter push, as well as how he's going to push into Sam's main base. Sam is GLA vanilla as well, so he can get scud launchers at some point, which are very, very annoying to deal with his move. Do you think Nur should drop down a second war factory though? He's gonna get this reinforcement pad, which gives you free troop crawlers. which is obviously very valuable. And yeah, here's the counter push now from Sam. And what does Nur have to deal with this? He has an outpost, and I think I saw a flamer earlier. Oh, it actually is out here. Okay. Yeah, Nur could lose this on the counter push alone if he's not careful. He had a good start, but he needs to not throw his start away. Yeah, Lotus is taking this oil again. ECM and outposts are out now, so Nur can fight this army, but he just needs to find the right angle. The Helix is actually loaded again. He refilled the Helix. Quads are attacking the supply from the cliff. And Nur is actually going gung-ho with this Helix. He's actually dropping the Licks down. And he's just gonna gun this down. Flamer is denying this third supply as well. Nur is actually microing 3 different spots at once. ECM does get taken out. And an outpost is cracked, but if there is no Jarman, and as I say that, the Jarman literally pops out for Sam, so very unfortunate timing for Nur, very fortunate timing for Sam, because if that Jarman was a couple seconds late, this palace was probably dead here. Let's see. Oh, and I think Nur actually is hunted. I missed that, sorry guys. Yeah, he's hunted and he lost the supply and the prop. So Nur is effectively on 1 supply, 1 oil right now. Wow. That completely decides the game, I think. Because Nur was looking in not bad shape. Not amazing shape, but he was looking in good shape. But now it's just terrible for Nur. Yeah, that Dozer hunt I think was game winning for Sam. Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. I mean, some people think that Dozer hunt's laming, or it beats the spirit of the game, as one would say, but it is a part of the game that you have to factor in, and yeah, Nur got caught off guard, I think, here. Rebel will barely get this cap on time. He doesn't have access to Super Lotus anymore, so he's gonna have to make the capture upgrade if he wants to retake an oil. Yeah, that is a bet 3 Jarman as well there. And Sam just needs to stay cozy in his base because Nur is about to be out of supplies here. He's gonna have to long distance collect. He can't even make ECM, so Sam could just make buggies and quads and win. Yeah, that Dozer hunt completely just flipped the game on its head, because he could have at least tried to do a big push through the middle, but he's not even got ECMs. Nur kind of needs a miracle at this point to win. Oh, the Lotus is still alive. Does retake the oil. Reinforcement pad is getting gunned down. Good target. Gives you 200 XP as well as stops these free troop crawlers. Sam is 3-star now with the bounty. And yeah, there's no proper solution for these RPGs or the Jarman. As long as these RPGs and Jarman are together, there's nothing Nur can do. And if Sam gets angry mobs, I mean, there's 100% nothing you can do. Outpost gets torn apart. That terrorist is getting awfully close. Okay, gets gunned by the minigunners. Nur is just making elixirs and he's gonna try and Hail Mary it. Yeah, there's a wall of defenses going up right now because Sam knows he just needs to hold this last push and he wins. There's the angry mob. Quads get stopped here, but this Lix is exceptionally low. Outposts engage tunnels with RPGs and a Stinger. All of them are popped open, and Nur, I imagine, will be quitting here in a second. Next wave of quads with AP bullets. There's no way that Nur can win this game at this stage. There's one Helix out, but even that won't do anything with the amount of stingers there are, the amount of quads, the amount of RPGs.
You have been defeated.
Yeah, that dozer hunt basically flipped the game on its head. That was good. That was good on Sam, recognizing that the hunt would cripple Nur. Okay, so now we're gonna see the reverse of Inf GLA. So Nur will be playing the GLA now. Okay. We now see Nur as the Cyan GLA versus Sam as the Purple Inf. So, are we gonna see a repeat of last game, or are we gonna see something different from Sam? Hello from Russia, there are a lot of Americar fans here. Hello! Nice to see you guys. I think this is a 3 supply opener from Nur. Yep. What's Sam going for? Sam's going for a passive build, so he's kept the CC. Needs to get this crates though. Yeah, he's kept the CC, so the benefit as well of this crate is it is 1k cash, so you can easily afford to keep your CC, which means you can't get hunted. 2 minigunners are sent out, looking for workers. Nur doesn't actually have that many base tunnels, but he is going to be on a lot of cash early. Maybe the haircut is the key to Sam's success, as Flamek is pointing out. Technical is going north. Meanwhile, there is an outpost already prepped up. This tunnel getting denied is pretty big. Question is, what is Nur's plan here? So he's got the 3 supplies, now what is he gonna do with it? Sam is actually expanding to a quick 4th, or no, a quick 3rd. Truck will miss the crush here, so he will force a 2-for-1, or maybe even deny the he will still get 1 truck only. He could have potentially denied the flamer. That would have been a good pickoff. Now this outpost needs to be dealt with here, so what is the solution for Nur? Nur is actually harassing the trucks here and dropped off an RPG to finish off the soil. Nice move from Nur. RPGs being popped open from this tunnel to crack the outpost. Outpost is very low. This technical is causing these trucks trouble. Outpost is dealt with minimal losses. Flamer does deal with this tunnel. That was why I was saying it would have been critical for that terrorist to deal with the Flamer, because while he's defending this outpost, Sam was able to sneak a Flamer, flame all this tunnel down, and clear Nur from the middle of the map. Having said that though, Sam's main base is still in trouble from this tech RPG. And he's actually got a tunnel near his third supply as well. Sam is effectively on one supply right now. Or not effectively, he's still on two, but the supply is very easily threatened at this point. Outpost gets cracked open. This is a grenade tech, so it's gonna easily flush out these tank hunters. And Sam just says GG. And Nur takes the game. Very convincing win there for Nur. So it's 6-4 to Sam, but it is a fixed 11 game, so could be a 7-4 win to, or sorry, yeah, 7-4 win or a 5-6 win to Sam. But keep in mind, every single win does make a difference in this tournament. So now it is an Infamir, and it is Sam's, or Nur's pick, sorry. And it's going to be Dralum Desert as the map choice. Curious to see what both players pull out on this one, because this is a map where you have quite a few builds you can go with Inf. So matchup's obviously an Infamir, but on the bottom left of Dralum Desert we have Nur. And on the top right of Dralum Desert, we have Sam in purple. And they're obviously both infantry. So what is the build order from both of these players? 2 dozers so far from Nur. And he's actually sending a dozer forward for a barracks. 2 dozers from Sam, and he's also got a barracks forward. Question is, what is going to be the building after the supplies? Is it going to be more barracks? Is it going to be an airfield? Or is it going to be a war factory? Let's see here. It's looking like a helix for Sam, actually. Not sure if I'm a fan of helix on this map. A lot of oils, so you're usually tempted to go oil grab. And you just see 1 or 2 minigunners next to the helix, and it's almost guaranteed to die. Yeah, helix is always very risky in an Infamir. You gotta be very confident to go for a helix like this. Turns out it was a spray hairline, not a cut. Ah, okay, fair enough. And an early airfield, probably for MiGs. But the problem for Sam is that there are minigunners out on the map, and if he runs into any minigunner, that's already going to be a lot of trouble for the helix, because it's going to take a lot of damage for free. And the helix is running right into the minigunner. Is Nur going to retarget? There's another minigunner walking as well. And that minigunner, that one minigunner might just solo the licks. Oh, the licks! It barely drops. It's on like no HP, 1% health. If Sam lost that helix and didn't drop, I think that would have been instant GG. But now this game gets interesting because there's actually a helix with a lot of infantry on the ground too. Having said that, Sam's airfield is gonna get camped out in a second. But this infantry blob in front of the war factory is very dangerous to deal with, and I think Nur queued up a assault troop crawler, given how long it's taking this war factory. MiGs hit the infantry. There's the assault troop crawler, and it just one-taps it. Actually, the minigunner one-taps it, and Sam says GG's. So despite losing the set
have been
overall,
defeated.
Ner pulls a pretty nice scoreline. He went from what was 1-4 down to 5-6, which is actually quite impressive. Because that means Ner had to win a lot of games back to back there to make it. So that's a 5-6 overall. 6 to Sam. Yeah, very nicely played there from the players today. Very long set as well. It was, I think, about 2 hours total. So, very, very lengthy set for these guys. So, GG's well played to both players. It was nicely done from Sam. Hard luck to Ner, but I think he played pretty well at the end there at least. First half of the set, he was looking quite shaky, but I definitely think his playing better at this second half of the set. But yeah, I shall head off for now. Thanks for watching the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and take care.